This morning we are talking about a superlative, one that the Supreme Court would probably like to forget. Maybe some would say the worst Supreme Court decision ever. And we've brought in the best when it comes to talking about Supreme Court decisions and the Constitution. This is Stuart Harris, professor of law at Lincoln Memorial University. Congratulations.
Great, thanks very much.
On your somewhat new gig.
It's somewhat new. I've been there since last summer at the Duncan School of Law of Lincoln Memorial University in Knoxville, and it's a marvelous place.
Yeah.
But today we're talking about something that's not so marvelous.
The Dred Scott decision.
Dred Scott decision.
And the Chief Justice who penned the opinion.
Right.
His statues are not being loved on these days.
They're not
What's
being
going
loved
on
on.
and why?
Well, you know, lots of Confederate symbology, lots of Confederate statues, the Confederate flag have been taken down in a lot of places. And in a very similar way, statues of Chief Justice Roger Taney, the fellow who wrote the Dred Scott decision, have recently been defaced, and there have been ongoing debates about taking them down. This is a really remarkable thing because, without doubt, Dred Scott was a terrible decision. That's the one where the Supreme Court considered a claim by a slave, his name was Dred Scott, who claimed that he had become free when he had traveled to a free territory, the modern-day state of Illinois. The Supreme Court, though, not only refused to grant his petition, they decided that they were going to deny it based on jurisdictional grounds, and he couldn't even go to court, they said, because he wasn't, now get this, a human being. Dred Scott was property, and the only constitutional rights that were at issue in his case, according to Chief Justice Taney, were the rights of property.
This was in that tumultuous build-up to the Civil War.
Yes, 1857.
And we've got the Missouri Compromise going on.
This
we've got,
took down the Missouri Compromise.
And as a country, complete conflict over this big issue that had been kicked down the street from the Constitution.
This was the spark, many people say. But the question for now is, do we really want to take these statues down?
Yeah.
Are we erasing history? Or, on the other hand, people would say, no, put them in a museum. We simply don't want to honor this fellow anymore. It's an ongoing debate. Isn't it remarkable? What did Faulkner say? The past isn't even past.
And now it's going to be the topic of your show
Yes,
coming
it is.
up on your weekly Constitutional. What can your listeners expect to hear in the program when you dig into this?
Very, very interesting discussion with a fellow from the Houston Law School, who his name is Blackman, and he is very, very much up on all this. He's done a lot of research on Taney and has some very interesting ideas to share. So you're going to want to listen to this one.
You know, it's so hard to understand history in context. Is there a bit of that needs to happen so we clearly know that was a bad decision?
It was a very, very bad decision, and you're going to get all the context and all the analysis that you can stand, Josh.
And more.
And more.
In an hour-long program.
Indeed.
Called Your Weekly Constitutional. It airs twice for you to listen. It actually airs, you could say, globally.
Indeed.
It airs on stations across the country, and we have it so easy here because it doesn't just air on WETS FM. It originates from there, and you can hear it Sunday at 3 and Tuesday at 8.
Right.
Stuart Harris, great to have you here.
Great to be here, Josh.